thyself like unto Babylon. Keep going,
And that has decked thy daughters in whoredom.
And have decked their daughters into whoredom. A lot of y'all, you want to marry my daughter. We teach against. I've been talking against pedophilia all day out here. I've been telling them, teaching against pedophilia the whole time I've been out here. Keep going on that. Or give me Proverbs 13:13.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 13.
Come on.
Whoso despises the word shall be destroyed.
It says, whoever despises this word shall what?
Shall be destroyed.
Shall be destroyed, because anything outside of this word is death. Anything outside of this word is death. You lean into your own understanding is you pretty much killing yourself, man. And a lot of us work 40, 50 hours just to destroy ourselves when we get home, man. Thinking that that's a reward. Thinking that pack of cigarettes is a reward. Keep going, up. Draw down to verse 18.
Verse 18. Poverty and shame shall...
It says what?
Poverty.
Poverty and what?
And shame.
And shame, man. And we the most impoverished people on this planet, man. No matter where you go, no matter what slum you go in, you're going to see people looking like you, man. We are the most impoverished and shameful. Come on.
Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction.
And it's going to be to him that refuseth instruction. And that's why we in the conditions that we in. That's why we the impoverished nation that we are. Because we won't listen to instruction. How y'all sisters doing? Y'all believe in the Bible? Get a flyer. Y'all believe in the Bible? Y'all know who y'all are according to the Bible? Huh? Keep going now. Read that again from the top.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 18.
You know that coronavirus? Y'all scared of that coronavirus? Y'all know that hair? Y'all know that lace hair come from China? Y'all know them lace fronts come from China? You know that weave come from China? Huh? Keep going now.
Poverty.
We don't want to listen to instruction, man. So when we end up coughing, when that lace front have us coughing, man, keep going.
Poverty and shame.
Poverty and shame, come on.
Shall be to him that regardeth reproof.
That regardeth reproof, man. That hates reproof. So it's important that we fall back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, man.
Salakia.
Stop giggling this thing off, man. Stop giggling off our poverty, man. It ain't okay to be broke, man. It ain't okay to be living in the slums. It ain't okay to be spending our last $30 on some weed, man. It ain't okay to take our tax money and go try to drop a mixtape. It ain't okay to be living check to check. It ain't okay to be in the bottom in every aspect of life. It ain't okay to be in the worst educational system, man. It ain't okay for your sons and daughters to be homosexuals. But y'all continue to giggle this thing off, man. You continue to go live day to day giggling this thing off, man. But it ain't okay. Keep going, up.
Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction. But he that regardeth reproof.
But it says he that regardeth reproof. He that regardeth correction. Black people can't be corrected unless it's a white man telling them something, man. That's right. Keep going, up.
That's right. I'm down.
Shall be honored.
Shall be what?
Shall be honored.
Shall be honored, man. Shall be honored. You just had just seen 15 kids up in New York just jump on this little girl, man. 15 kids.
Took her shoes.
15 kids jumped on the little girl, took her shoes, man. Took her shoes. And we still sitting around here and smiling and giggling, man. Still don't know who did it. Still ain't trying to see who did it, man. We live in a nation full of cowardism, man. A lot of us scared of our kids.
There you go. There you go.
Don't want to say nothing to these kids, man. We'll watch these kids jump on a girl and run back in the house, man. And run in the house. But that's the state we living in, man. Nobody wants that reproof. Nobody wants that correction. Nobody wants to deal with these children, man. Nobody wants to correct these kids, man. And that's why they're wild, and that's why the generations are getting wilder and wilder, man. More and more lawlessness. No morals. No moral code. Anything can go, man. And it don't matter how broke we get, it seems the broker we get, and that's because of the programming. Because you don't know who you are. So the broker we get, the more money we spend, man. The more we gotta act like we got something, man. The more powers we get, now we rocking designer. 10 years ago, we could spend $40 on some Reeboks. Now we gotta buy, well, $400 tennis shoes, man. And I just said the girl got jumped and they took her tennis shoes. First thing they took. That's the most valuable thing a Negro walking around with, man. Some tennis shoes. That's his most valuable possession. Tennis shoes. And a fresh haircut, man. How you doing, brother? You believe in the scripture? You believe in the Bible? You say yeah? Yeah. You know you're an Israelite? Do you know you're an Israelite? You know what an Israelite is? 12 tribes? You know you Israel. So you know you Israel. That's what we here for. We here to give you that information. We just trying. I'm just trying to see where I need to start with you. You saying nobody really know? You want me to show you how we know? I'm gonna show you how we know. Give me Deuteronomy 28, verse 1. I'm gonna show you how we know. You familiar with Moses getting the 10 Commandments and taking the children of Israel out of Egypt? Right? All right. Did he take everybody? He just took the Israelites. He took the Israelites. Come, you right. Some strangers did cling on to us though, and that's what's gonna happen also. We go back into the wilderness. Strangers gonna cling onto us, and they gonna understand. What about the coronavirus? We got to try to be protected from it. That's all in the scriptures too. Let me get your identity, then I get that coronavirus for you, and show you that was prophesied in the scriptures.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1.
And I'm gonna show you how not to catch it, according to the scriptures.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
It said it shall come to pass, if you will listen diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Come on.
To observe and to do all his commandments.
Come on.
Which I command thee this day. That the Lord thy God will set thee on high.
He said if we keep his commandments, he gonna set us on high. Come on.
Above all nations of the earth.
Above all nations of the earth. Deuteronomy 28 set up. Verses 1 through 15 is the blessings. And verses 15 through 68 is the curses. Remember Kanye West said slavery was a choice? Right? So right here we seeing that the Most High said that we keep the law, statutes, and commandments, he was going to set us on high above all nations on this planet. Right? Now go to verse 15.
Verse 15. The book of Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
He said if we don't listen, then all these curses gonna come upon us, right? Now these curses gonna show us that who the people are. All right, give me a drop down to verse 47.
Verse, the book of Deuteronomy 28 and verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
It said because we didn't serve the Most High with all our heart for the abundance of all things. Come on.
Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies.
It says therefore you're going to serve thy enemies. Come on.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst.
In hunger and in thirst. Come on.
In nakedness.
And in nakedness. If you see that water tower up there? You think Jay-Z can buy one of them? You think Jay-Z can buy a water tower? No. You know what? Let me show you the power of that water tower. That water tower sent a bill to everybody in DeKalb County for the rest of their life. Every resident. Jay-Z don't. They won't. It's gonna cost over $1 billion. Like that's power. They don't just that like you got to be elected in. It's all kind of stuff. You can't just buy that and put that up. Matter of fact, Jay-Z probably got to go ask the white man, can he collect rainwater? Because we all have to ask permission. You just can't collect rainwater. You can't sit a tank in your backyard and just collect rainwater. You got to go to get permission to do that. For all your clothes, where you get our clothes from? who own the textiles? The white man. What about your food? Where your food come from? All the organic food come from Mexico though. You know, none of the organic food actually grow here. If you look at organic food, a lot of it's coming from Mexico, Argentina, coming from different countries. How does that stuff get imported in? Like Jay-Z, Beyonce, that just entertain us. The real wealth and the money is in having those cargo ships. Them cost billions of dollars just to have a cargo ship that can go, you know what I'm saying, sell and bring certain merchandise and all that stuff back. You know what I'm saying? We don't own that. We don't own no cargo ports that bring that stuff back. And even with the textiles and the shoes and like Kanye got the shoes. He got a deal from Adidas. He can't manufacture his own shoes. That's what he was going crazy about. Because he's not able in a position to be a manufacturer or in a position to be a Louis Vuitton and make it directly from scratch. To grow like from growing cotton, making the fabric, to manufacturing it and then distributing it, we have to go to those labels. Even with music, you end up having to go to these labels to get funded. And that's with Jay-Z, that's with everybody, you know what I'm saying, pretty much every African American, Latino, Native American, all of them have to, you know, for anything we want, we have to ask them, right? For the abundance of all things, keep going.
In hunger and in thirst and in nakedness.
Like I said, all our food coming there. Hunger, thirst, nakedness, come on.
And in want of all things.
Everything we want. We want to get married, we got to go get a permission. We got to go get a marriage license. You want to go fishing, you got to go get a fishing license. You want to drive a car, you got to get a driver license. You want to be identified, you got to go to these folks and tell them and get some identification. And when you're born, they give you a number. You feel what I'm saying? So you pretty much own from your birth. And your mom signs off on that. Right? Keep going.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And he gonna put a yoke of iron upon your neck. And see, we the only nation of people that done had yokes of iron on our necks. You see that?
Until he had destroyed thee.
Until he have destroyed thee. And we don't have yokes on our neck now because we are totally destroyed. You got a dog? You like dogs? No, but watch this. They did an experiment with a dog, right? And they chained the dog up, and they put food just enough in front of the dog where he couldn't get it. So when the dog went to go get the food, it would choke him. But the dog is starving. Dog ain't ate in days, right? So he continues to get up there and tries to get the food. All right. Eventually he stops trying to get it, and they pull the food closer and tie him up further, right? And so he goes back to try to get the food again. He done got his throat all lacerated. He's still trying to get the food, but he can't get the food, right? And so then he tires out again. He says forgets it. Then they take the leash off the dog. That's what he's saying. Until you are destroyed, take the yoke off. Take the leash off the dog, and they sit the food right in front of the dog, right? Where he can get it. What you think the dog do? He don't get it. He don't eat it no more because of all the other times that he tried to get it, he couldn't get it. So now he just done totally gave up on trying to get the food. That's us. That's us. That's why they continue to show those slave movies. They continue to show us that history and those things that they did to us, to continue to show us that if we did fight to go get what we supposed to get the food, that there's gonna be certain consequences, right? So anytime somebody talks about, okay, man, we need to liberate, we can come together, we can start a city and do our own thing, they talking, man, you remember what they did back to Black Wall Street when they bombed it, or you remember what they did when they did it, they ain't gonna let you do that. And we don't even know who those people are. But we already have a fear. So we are a destroyed nation of people. That's why we can walk around with no leash on, and they can kill us out here cold-blooded in these streets. Did you see that thing that happened with the young boy in Alabama? Well, not the boy in Alabama, but the convicted dude in Alabama. Gave him the electric chair. Yeah. One, cause he wasn't even really supposed to. He didn't do the murder. He was just around the dude who had did it. He was supposed to be convicted for something else. But in Alabama, they still electrocuted the dude And so you got people speaking out, but we ain't gonna take no. We ain't gonna go get the food. We ain't gonna try to get the food. Now you know how how they have to rehabilitate that dog. In order to rehabilitate that dog, they have to force feed him. They have to pick the food up. They have to pick the bowl up, and pretty much force it in his mouth and make him start chewing. Right? You think the white man gonna do that for us? No, right? No, drop down to verse 54. Let me show you another curse.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you,
It says the man that is tender among you, come on,
and very delicate,
come on.
his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
His eye gonna be what?
Evil toward his brother.
His eye gonna be evil towards his brother, man. So that a lot of that black on black crime that we have is part of these curses. Keep going.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
You gotta
And
fly out.
toward
All right, man, hit us up, man. Let him take that word from you.
the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
To reward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead. Give me that Deuteronomy 10. Give me Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Or 6, yeah, 4 and 6. And say, come, boy, take that word.
The book of Deuteronomy.
Quit.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, and verse 6.
Come on.
Therefore, keep therefore and do them,
It says, keep therefore and do them. Come on.
for this is your wisdom.
This is your what?
Wisdom
This is your wisdom and what?
and your understanding
And your understanding, man. We need that wisdom and that understanding. Come on.
in the sight of the nations.
In the sight of the nations. And so the nations don't see us as wise people no more. They don't see us as understanding people. How you doing, sister? You believe in the Bible? You got a little second for God? Let's give you a few scriptures real quick. Right? You understand that you understand Jesus Christ was a black man? You ever seen that in the Bible? All right, well, listen to me real quick, sis. Let me give you this real quick for you. Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12.
The book of
Do you love God? You do? Give me John chapter 14, 15. Where my other post at? You remember back in church, back in the day, they didn't let women wear dresses. They didn't let women wear pants to church. You remember that? Why you think they did that? You don't know? Remember the women used to wear big hats, right? That was that was in the scriptures, because the women supposed to have their head covered, and our women supposed to dress modestly. They're not supposed to wear pants, right? But we're gonna see, and this is one of the scriptures. Go ahead and bring that John 15 out. But in Deuteronomy 22:5 says the woman should not wear that which pertaineth to a man. So when women wear pants, that's one of those garments that pertain to man, right? That's something that's pretty much done came from the world. We didn't used to do that, but the world has made that okay. Give me that John 14:15.
The book of John, chapter 14, and verse 15. If ye love me,
It says, if you love me,
keep my commandments.
keep his commandments. So you got to keep his commandments, sister. All right, sir. Sister, get that word. You need that word. Give me 1 Chronicles chapter 15, verse 14.